The storage system, an indispensable tool for any advanced Minecraft world. Due to items being constantly added to the game with every update, they've become more and more necessary. That's why the player in this world has decided to build the perfect storage for his needs. Storage systems come in all shapes and sizes, but this one has strict requirements.
that machine works, and yeah, that should be it. Testing is complete.
So, I have been designing the ultimate storage building for my base, and it's going to be massive. Let me show you. This is the construction site for my base, a big wasteland with not much on it yet. It's a giant hexagon with 7 big holes, aka perimeters. In this big hole in the middle, I'm making the storage so I can store millions of blocks and then use those millions of blocks to build my base. Got it? Then let's begin.
The storage is the most important part of a base. That's why it's getting built right in the heart of this one. It's not only going to be a well-organized row of chests, it's also going to consist of other beneficial machines like a bulk storage unit, a large furnace array, a fast crafting system, a concrete converting machine, and even a super advanced input system for maximum efficiency. After that, the entire thing will get covered with magnificent, futuristic themed decoration. To begin, the logical thing to do would be to build the furnace array and the concrete converter, which could be used to make more materials. But then some issues arose. To put it simply, there wasn't even close to enough materials to construct such things. Thousands of hoppers were needed, and the iron farm used to provide iron for it had been broken for the past 4 months. That means there was only one solution.
So this list should contain everything needed to build the storage section. And the first task on it is to build a large iron farm. Let's begin.
Tell me, do you wanna hear the story unfold? Cause I might turn out to be the villain, you know. Dark Knight King just dripping in gold. Living my life like I got a cheat code. Welcome to my world, next episode. Sequel to the trilogy story I chose. I'm taking down the empire, that's my throne. I won't ever quit, no. I'm back in the fight. Won't stop believing. I'm back in the fight, and I'm never leaving, no. Cause it's history that I'm shaping. There's a legend that I'm making. I'm back in the fight, yeah. I'm back in the fight. I'm back in the fight. Back in the fight.
So this is my brand new iron farm. It makes around 32,000 ingots an hour. This is more than enough for most people, but I build stuff that is slightly larger, so that's why I need this much. Iron blocks are quite aesthetic and will therefore be frequently used in my builds. The farm is located in the spawn chunks so that it's always running regardless of where I am in the world.
With a steady stream of iron, a large amount of items became abundant and easily accessible. By combining the iron with the 100,000 birch logs left over from making shulker boxes for the gold farm storage a few months ago, the hopper shortage had become a thing of the past. Prior to this, there was already a reasonable quantity of other redstone components, so not that much time were needed to gather the remaining resources. A few trips between some farms and the crafting table was enough to suffice the material list.
What I want to do here is to have a storage system at around Y level 0. Then below in each corner I want 4 machines that serve their own important purpose. I need one machine that handles the item input to the storage, one that converts concrete, one that smelts stuff, and one that crafts items. Also, ignore this temporary storage, I am removing it later. The machines are relatively simple, so let's begin building.
I'm back in the fight. Won't stop believing. I'm back in the fight, and I'm never leaving, no. Cause it's history
This is one of the fastest concrete converting machines in the game. It converts 50 blocks every single second, which is almost 180,000 per hour. It's in fact so fast that I need to use an auto clicker for it to keep up. This may sound excessive, but keep in mind this entire base will need several million concrete. Now to craft such ridiculous amounts of concrete powder, I have made a machine that will help me with it. This is a fast crafting machine that handles over 600 items a second at full speed. It evenly distributes the items you give it in such a way that lets you craft several stacks of the item you want every second. You put the shulker boxes with materials in one of the 9 chests that represent one of the 9 crafting slots. Then you turn it on and the items get to your inventory, where you use the item scroll amount to craft entire inventories at once, and then it goes to the shulker box loaders below. Since crafting tables go hand in hand with furnaces, the next thing to do is to build the furnace array and also the input machine that will send everything to the storage.
I'm back in the fight.
The furnace array is complete. What I have done here is that I have taken this simple 320 furnace array. Then I have stacked 2 of them on top of each other and then built 2 stacks, making it 1280 furnaces in total, which is almost 500,000 smelted items per hour. I was considering building the 1728 version, but came to the conclusion that placing rails like this is way too fucking annoying and not worth my time. Anyway, this is my new input machine, quite an upgrade from my old one, which is broken and just taking up space at the moment. This device converts shulker boxes filled with random crap into easily digestible chunks of items that the storage can handle. It works by first filtering out the shulker box by emptying it and then sending it to...
Apparently this machine is way too complicated to be explained within a reasonable amount of time, so the director decided we should just fast forward through it.
And lastly, the items get sent to the storage.
No point of explaining this. I'm just gonna go build the next farm.
Furnace arrays are incredibly useful, but they are a double-edged sword. Furnaces need fuel to stay hot and be able to smelt things, and these things need a lot of it. Now multiply this by over 1,000 times, and you've got a hungry monster that not even the most experienced coal miner can feed. Luckily, there was a solution. Some people may have even forgot this existed, but by smelting a log you get charcoal, which is quite an underrated item to say the least. It works just like coal, and is way faster to make than with a wither skeleton farm. Now with a big beefy tree farm, not a pussy tree farm by the way, charcoal becomes even more plentiful. That's why the player decided to get the best one he could find at the time.
This is one of the best, most advanced tree farms available. It supports all wood types except dark oak and goes up to 56,000 logs per hour. A tree farm this efficient is obviously gonna suck up bone meal at a significant speed, so I've got a few million bone meal from my 100,000 per hour bone meal farm ready. Just need to go get them from the end. Never mind, this ain't gonna work. Building the farm 5 kilometers out in the end was a major blunder. I think it would be better if I just built a new bone meal farm right next to the tree farm.
Upon completing the bone meal farm, the last piece of the puzzle had been placed. It was now time to advance, but after burning through almost the entire supply of redstone components, the player had enough. He was tired of constantly running out of redstone after every project. He wanted change. The player wanted to end the redstone shortage once and for all, so he decided to craft 100,000 of every redstone component, which is the equivalent of a double chest of shulkers. Most common material in the redstone components is often stone or cobblestone, so the small cobblestone generator had to be used, but it wasn't sufficient.
Yeah, this generator is way too slow. I'm gonna have to expand it.
The first material on the list was getting acquired by building a new cobblestone generator 6 times as fast and then running it overnight. The seemingly endless supply of redstone from running the old raid farm for several days turned out to not be endless. There were less than 80,000 redstone blocks left.
I'm gonna need 2.9 million redstone powder, and my raid farm broke after 1 month of usage, so I'm gonna build a new one that is twice as fast. This looks awesome. I'm gonna have it running for a day or two while I get the other resources.
Next was quartz for observers and comparators. To get that, the Piglin trade machine was used and expanded as well.
Now it feeds entire shulker boxes of gold to the piglins instead, and the items get sent through the portal to a bigger storage system in the overworld.
With all the resources ready, it was time to start crafting all of it, until the player realized that the machine he built wasn't working in the current game version at the time, so he had to build another one.
Let's hope this one works. So, I put the stuff in here, then I go down here and stand on the pressure plate, and now the item starts flowing. Looks like I need a separate machine for the dispensers. I don't know why the recipe is made so that it can only be crafted one at a time. And that should be it. I've only made the 15 most common ones because I don't need 100,000 lecterns.
After spending dozens of hours running farms and crafting, the redstone shortage had become a thing of the past. The quantity of available redstone components was now significantly greater than what was required to construct farms for every item in the game. Next was to make a new storage system. At the time, the perimeter in the center already had a storage, but it was laughably inefficient. The player had probably designed it while sleep-deprived at 3 in the morning. The storage had an innumerable amount of problems. It was a square instead of a cross, resulting in greater travel time between chests. To add insult to injury, the storage was also obnoxiously slow and laggy. All these problems were not present in the new storage because the player had spent many hours designing and optimizing it. It was now time to finally build it.
So my plan is to first build a new storage, then transfer the items from the old storage, then tear it down. In these shulkers are all the materials conveniently gathered. It's approximately 90,000 blocks in total, so let's build it.
With over 30 hours of construction work, the third and final iteration of the storage stood complete. This thing was an absolute unit. It could store up to 1,800 different items, which was 2 times the amount of stackable items in the game at the time of building it. Based on the average amount of new items Mojang adds to the game per year, this could certainly last until the year 2035 and beyond.
So this works by first throwing the items I wanna sort into this chest here. They get sent to the input machine where the items get processed and sent to the storage. Then they flow through the water streams and get sucked up by the item filters. Each slot can fit about 8,000 items, and when that is full, it gets sent to the bulk section over here with space for over 700,000 items each. I have intentionally made it as simple and compact as possible to reduce the risk of an update with modified redstone mechanics breaking it.
Having a floating cross-shaped thing in the middle of a base doesn't look very pleasing, so the obvious solution to this would be to give it decoration and some kind of structure for it to stand on.
A perfect storage is also a good looking one, so I'm gonna give this some amazing decoration that's gonna have lots of amenities. But there's a small problem in the way. This build is over 1,000,000 blocks. Blocks and my farms are not on par with those kinds of demands, so let's increase the means of production with more farms.
The player now wanted to achieve resource abundance by building farms for every item in the game. First was to make a powder snow farm, because that's often used to kill mobs in other farms.
The powder snow farm is done. I kind of messed up by building it in the wrong biome, so now it generates both snow buckets and water buckets. Now I'm gonna use this to make the next farm, a large frog farm. Let's proceed to the nether. And that's the frog farm. Next is to give my guardian farm an improved collection system. Now it's no longer leaking items. Let's move on to the next farm.
Here we observe the wild horse, peacefully grazing on the nutritious grass in the flower forest. Wait, what's going on over there?
Hey, why are you filming here? This is private property. Get the fuck out.
Oh shit! Gerald, I told you not to choose this location.
No, you chose it!
Watch out!
So right here, I'm gonna build a fast flower farm to easily get dyes and plants for decoration. That should do it. The farm is quite laggy, but it's far away, so it shouldn't interfere with other stuff. Now let's go to the end. So, this may be an unexpected location, but here I'm gonna build one of the fastest copper farms ever made. And it's incredibly small too. Watch this. That's it. Now the fun part. This farm is limited by how fast your game runs, and I found out that the simulation I'm in runs on a beefy computer, which means I'm gonna get some insane rates from this. But now I'm gonna build an actual end farm, a chorus fruit farm, so I can get end rods. The signs for them are very few, but I found one, and it's really big. 200,000 blocks in total. Let's build it. this is the biggest farm so far. It took 70 hours to build and makes 50,000 chorus fruit per hour. I know it looks silly with the gold blocks, but that is because I still have over 10 million of them left, but nothing to use them on. Spending 10 weeks getting a billion gold nuggets was a fucking waste of time. Anyway, to make end rolls you also need blaze rods, so I'm gonna build a medium-sized blaze farm. This location is perfect for a blaze farm because it's in an open area. This saves me time by having to spawn-proof less. And that's how you make infinite end rods and
It had to be extracted from the ground.
remember that machine I used to get rid of the ugly emerald pyramid a long time ago. I'm gonna use it again to mine millions of terracotta blocks. This time I'm making it several times wider.
The quarry machine is one of the most advanced devices in the game. Before construction,